Before this video begins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. I would like to thank Hyundai of Newport, located in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island, for allowing me to review this vehicle. Their link is down in the description below. Hello and welcome. Today we are inside of a 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz 2.5 Premium. This Santa Cruz is finished in ice white and is an SEL trim. This has 2 rows of seats and can seat 5 people, and has a total gross weight of about 5,700 pounds. This truck currently stickers for about $39,000. Alrighty, let's go for a ride. Alright, so the first things I noticed about this car, it has a pretty smooth ride. It really has minimal wind noise and minimal tire noise. A little bit more wind noise than tire noise, but overall it's very, very good. The steering feel is pretty light, and it's direct enough. It has good feedback, but it's pretty light steering, so it's very easy to drive day to day. It does have a floor-mounted gas pedal, which is pretty interesting for a random Hyundai, but I like it. Alright, so this steering wheel has a pretty interesting design to it, with some hand spaces right here as well as down and bottom, and some nice pointy bolsters at 10 and 2. And let's go over the speed bump at an appropriate speed and just see how the suspension takes it. Okay, I basically didn't feel it. This does ride on 20-inch wheels, so it feels pretty good. Let's pop this into sport mode. All the gauges turn red, so that is pretty neat, and we will floor it. And there's 60. Okay, so it's really not too bad. It's a 2.5 turbo 4 engine, so it's the bigger engine of the two. And we'll put it back into normal right there. And it felt pretty good. Really, it was very quiet throughout that. The engine was a bit loud. It didn't sound too bad. And wind noise and tire noise were once again subdued. And let's actually pop this into shiftable mode and just see how quick the response is there. So, okay, so the response is appropriately slow, is what I would say, because it is a Hyundai truck. It is not typically meant to be driven like a sports car with very fast response on any of those. We can test those out just a little bit here. Okay, it's a little better at higher speeds with the response time in those, and that's only in normal, so in sport it may speed those up just a wee bit. And the brakes feel very confidence-inspiring in here. I was just going like 40, and now I'm back to 10. Felt very good. Alright, so the suspension in here, if you're steering it a bit, it has pretty direct response. It's not a sporty suspension, of course, this is a truck, but it's really not too loose either. It feels pretty nice. There is some body roll. This is a truck, and it's moderately tall with about 8.6 inches of ground clearance, but it feels pretty good overall. It really doesn't drive like a big body-on-frame truck, because this is, once again, unibody. Inside of here, you do get Hyundai's Blue Link infotainment system, and it's a pretty bright screen. Very, very responsive, and yeah, it's very nice to use. And you do get these rollers for your scrolling, for your volume, and also your tuning, so I think that adds some nice character to this vehicle. You also get some touch-sensitive buttons right there if you don't want to use the touchscreen as you're driving. And they're not too finicky, which is very nice. Yeah, so body roll is really, really pretty light in this vehicle. It is very nice to drive. Alright, so in my opinion, I would definitely get this trim, which is a SEL Premium or Plus, and it has the higher engine. It has a larger engine, which is the Turbo 2.5, versus the naturally aspirated, which sits more around 190 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque. Overall, this engine is adequate. It feels pretty good to drive around. It helps you get up and go when you need to. But the lower engine, I can predict, has a very, very, very big dip in the power band, because it is only naturally aspirated and is a bit weak to be pulling a vehicle of this size. Although this is about the size of a Ford Ranger, it's bigger than a Maverick, maybe a little bit bigger than a Honda Ridgeline. It's a 5,700 pound vehicle, so in a gross weight, so it is really not too tiny to be driving around. I would definitely recommend this engine, as it has just enough pep to keep this fun to drive. Alright, so paired with the 8-speed shiftable automatic, that'll just about wrap up this review. I think it drives pretty well, surprisingly well, for just a unibody Hyundai. It feels pretty torquey, and it really doesn't have too bad a dip in the power band. This vehicle, well, yeah, I don't even need to mention, well, yeah, I'll mention you guys. This vehicle is currently for sale at Hyundai of Newport, located in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. Make sure to check out their link down in the description below. Thank you for watching, and take care.